Okay, we're live. There might be a little bit. Tell me, attrition, when you see us, because there will be a delay.
Not seeing you yet, but I'll let you know.
And because you're on YouTube and StreamYard both, there will probably be an echo somewhere along the line.
I'll just mute myself and use the private chat.
Okay, it's fine. Tell me when you see us going live, though.
Okay, I think I can hear you on my headphones.
Yeah, it's going. There's a little bit of a delay, like 5 seconds or so.
So we're live now?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, well, we've been on for a while now.
Wow.
Cool.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm being blown away by the fact that my headphones are connected to two different things at the same time. Wow, we live in, this is science, space time. Anyway. Wow.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, sounds good.
So Cameryn, this is what we were thinking we would do today. You have this script, right, that attrition sent on Friday?
Yes, so do have the script that attrition sent on Friday. I'm opening it right now.
So, and then you have the questions, right?
Yes, I have that document as well.
Okay, and attrition, feel free to interrupt me if I give wrong instructions for today. So what we were thinking we would do for today is actually do a full run through to the best of our ability. We don't have Andres's recording and we don't have Stacy's recording, so we will skip that. So we'll start with me doing a but I actually do have all of the youth presentations. So we'll practice going from live to the recorded. I won't have the presentations play all the way through. So you're probably going to be a little bit startled when I come back to you live, just because you won't know that the recording has, like, you don't know where I'm going to stop it today. So we'll account for that. So we'll do the first 5 Chicago. And then we're actually going to pretend to do a panel. And I'll be a fake panelist, so you can bring me on. And then what attrition was saying is the way we'd like for this to go is you start off with just one of the general questions. And then at that point, attrition's going to pretend to be watching on YouTube like a regular guest. He's going to start asking questions on YouTube because we want to test to make sure that you see the questions. Because I think we said last week that you would pick those questions, and as you pick them, I would bring them onto the screen. Are you still comfortable with that? Or we can test it and see.
Okay.
If for whatever reason, so if the day of the symposium we don't have any questions, then you can follow with the questions that attrition put together. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and since this is just a practice, you know, we can stop and like kind of ask questions in between. It's not that big a deal. So why don't we get started? I'm going to start us off with that funky 30-second countdown. And then since we don't have Andres's welcome, we'll just go straight to you, Cameryn. Sound good?
Give me 1 second. Okay, so yeah, cool, perfect.
So I'm going to remove attrition. I'm going to remove me. Attrition, for whatever reason you want, like you have some comment during all of this, just chat us or raise your hand and I'll bring you back into the stream.
Okay.
Sound good? Since this isn't really like a dress rehearsal, it's really just practice. Okay, here we go. I am removing myself.
Cool. Wow. Oh, I need to get the people's name pronunciations. Okay, gotta work on that. Hello, everyone. I am Cameryn OKK. I am here with the MAPS Core Symposium. Thank you, Andreas, for those opening remarks. They were beautiful. I've come here to kind of give you a little background on who I am and I'll be your MC for this entire show. So my name is Cameryn Okeke. I am a senior research associate at the Vera Institute of Justice, but I think more importantly, I am an alumni of MAPS Corps. I worked at MAPS Corps during my college at the University of Chicago for 3 beautiful summers. And I can honestly say it's one of the best experiences I ever had. So I want to go into a little context and history for the format for the presentation. But first, I want to give a couple remarks on why this is so important that we're here. So MAPS Corps is a pretty unique project. It's been a really big part of my life and really big shaping my work as a researcher. I work in structural violence and community revitalization and community growth. And MAPS Corps is kind of the ultimate program that looks at and holistically responds to communities. And most importantly, it brings young people to science, but also allows young people to kind of understand the power and complexity of data and research and how it can be used in service of community. So I think for me as a young Black person from the South Side of Chicago, MAPS Corps is a beautiful program that allowed me to connect with other young people and also go and move through neighborhoods and see the beauty and the joy and the liveliness that exists in my community. I think that despite the policies and the programs and the kind of systematic failures that have happened in communities of color in Chicago, MAPS Corps shows us that we have assets. It shows us that there are things to grow and beautiful things to categorize, to understand, and a love for community to harness. And so I'm happy that we're all here to celebrate. I'm happy to see this project is still thriving, especially in these times. In the time of COVID, more now than ever, we need interdependence. We need a sense of community that brings us and binds us all together. And I will continue with more of those remarks another time. So I close off my remarks and then I continue on to the format. So the format, as I said before, this is a beautiful symposium. Normally this would be in person and you would be walking along with me and listen to the young people talk, and we will be having presentations from our Chicago and New York and Nash and Edgecombe cohorts. And we're gonna have some talking. We're gonna have some panels. It's gonna be a beautiful time. First, we're gonna start off with we're gonna start off with some a brief overview of it. We're gonna hear from Chicago groups, the Chicago Youth Panel, and then we're gonna hear some presentations from New York and North Carolina. And then we're gonna close with the panel, and then we're gonna have some wonderful statements from Stacey Lindow, the founder of this project. I want to remind everyone that you can be able to comment your questions in the YouTube comment box below. I'll be picking out the questions to give to the panelists. You'll be able to ask young people who've been doing mapping in real life and any type of questions you'd like. And so yeah, I'd like to ask you to click on the link of the YouTube chatter sign in. I believe it's that way or this way. It's a link that will show up in some direction of some sort. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's hop into with our first presentation. So I'd like to introduce Kayla Hogan, Johnny Bravo, and Yang Li Wu to present on small business responses to COVID-19.
Hello, welcome to our research project for the Chicago Scientific Symposium. We will be presenting about COVID-19's impact on community well-being through the lens of financial impact on businesses and educational impact on students. My name is Kayla.
I'm Yingler.
My name is Johnny.
And we worked with 2 community-based organizations. Our goal for Centers for New Horizons, Bronzeville, is to identify the impact online learning has had on the well-being of students in Bronzeville. And our goal for Brighton Park Neighborhood Counselors is to check how businesses are doing during the pandemic and see what resources business owners need to stay open.
Oh my God. Excellent work, Kayla, Johnny, and Lee. You all did a wonderful job showcasing how important it is that we think about COVID and its impact on communities in Chicago. Moving forward, we're going to move on to our next presentation I want to introduce Davion, Rowan, and they're going to present on the effects of COVID on the digital divide in North Chicago.
I'll start. All right. Hi, my name is Davion Wiley.
And hi, I'm Rowan Vargas, and our presentation is on the digital divide.
Our presentation, like Rowan just said, is about the digital divide, which is the gap between those who have computer and internet access and those who don't.
Our research question was, how has COVID-19 influenced students' access to communicative technology in the Albany Park area? A quick overview of Albany Park shows that the population of Albany Park is above average at 50,000 residents, and the race and ethnic makeup of Albany Park is predominantly Hispanic and white. Next.
Our research methods consisted of surveys that we sent via email and interviews that we did with the CPS Equity Office. Next slide. Our MAPS Corps data results consisted of
Wow! Thank you so much, Davian and Rowan. I really love to hear that young people are incorporating these new kind of research techniques of interviewing people and surveys. I mean, we went around and did paper surveys back when I was mapping, so it's amazing to see how we've the technology that we're using in these projects has progressed so much. Next, I'd like to introduce Abigail Hernandez and Nathaniel Luna Stinger to present on the effects of COVID on the digital divide.
Hi, I'm Nathaniel Luna Stinger.
And I'm Abigail Hernandez.
We're representing Logan Square. LSNA is our CBO. Our topic's the digital divide, which is the gap between those who do and those who do not have access to internet. And our research question is, how effective were the approaches taken by educational institutions in the Logan Square community area? Some background about Logan Square is that it's a neighborhood going through gentrification. The bar graph shows that the white demographic was the only one which grew over the years, while the other demographics shrank.
So our research methods consisted of a mixed methods research, both quantitative and.
Oh wow! I mean, amazing. I mean, I really love that we're talking in very clear terms about the way gentrification creates the landscape for the issues that we're seeing with the digital divide. Kudos to that group. Next, I'd like to introduce Aidan Blunt and Talia Beckert to present on the effects of COVID on food insecurity.
This is the Chicago Scientific Symposium. I'm Aidan.
My name is Talia.
And here's some background information about the CBOs we are working with. Claretians Associates is a community-based organization located in South Chicago. They aspire to create a community that is affordable and safe through improvements in employment, safety, healthcare, housing, arts, and more. Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation.
Thank you so much, Aidan and Talia. I really appreciate that. I mean, thank you so much for reminding us all like how important food is to the health of the community. Up next, I'd like to introduce Levy-Alonso Edwards. I want to find out that later. And Everardo Luna from the Centers of New Horizons, and the Sinai Community Institute to present on mental health healing spaces.
Chicago Scientific Symposium, provided by Nyla Larry, Everardo Luna, and Clevenique Edwards. Next slide.
Our project is titled An Assessment of Mental Health Needs and Resources in the North Lawndale Community, and we worked in collaboration with the Mount Sinai Community Institute in order to come up with a direction for our project. Next slide. Our research question this summer was, what community mental health
Wow, thank you so much, Chicago Westside Hub, for that beautiful presentation. And I think, knowing what I know about Chicago and my history in it, we need mental health healing spaces now more than ever. So thank you for that lovely work. And I'd like to also take this moment to thank all the presenters so far from Chicago for their insights. I'm happy to see my city as being represented extremely well. And so I'd like to take this moment to know that we're now shifting to, as I said before, a Chicago youth panel. So I'm going to be bringing in young mappers to have a kind of facilitated conversation about their experience. As a reminder, you can ask them questions in the YouTube chat box. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the panelists for this presentation. And we're going to go around and ask, and I have an opening question for you. So first, I'd like to introduce Nyla Larry, Nathaniel Stinger Luna. Is it Luna Stinger or Stinger Luna? Well, I'll ask Nathaniel. Samuel Robinson, and Johnny Bravo. Thank you all so much for being part of this panel. I'd like to start off with just a really simple question. I'd like to have each of you say your name, your pronouns, and what organization that you work with. And then the first question to you is pretty straightforward. What's the most interesting or surprising thing that you learned in the community that you researched this summer?
Hi, well, I'll take that first question. My name's Levy-Alonso, and I work with the LARC group. I'm helping MapsCore with the symposium, so I'm actually not going to answer that question because I have no idea, since I didn't work in those communities. But I'm sure they found lots of interesting things, and yeah, so that's my answer.
Okay, excellent. How did you? So the question. So I appreciate that question. I'm gonna take some of the questions from the audience, and I have another question for you. So, how did you do your work from home? Some of the audience members want to know.
Well, you know, I was really lucky that I've had internet and Wi-Fi, and we are in an area that has like decent connectivity, but it's been a challenge because my kids have been home and my husband's been home. So all of us trying to do our work from home has been a little bit challenging. But, you know, we've made the best of it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I mean, I can definitely relate. Working from home has also been a struggle here. I guess one of my a related question is, so from your perspective of where you're sitting at home, you know, how do you think the data that you've been gathering or the work you've been doing how is it benefiting your community?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out once the data is published and people see all the data.
Extremely fair. Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of switching gears a little bit, I have a question myself I wanted to ask. So what like assets or spaces are contributing to the walkability of your community?
Sorry, I was just looking for that question. I don't see it up there, Cameron. Which one was it?
Okay, it's my own question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that way I know if I don't see it up there, then I'm just not going to bring it on screen.
Oh yeah, I'll try to preface it with being like, I have my own, like I'll try to make sure there's a clear communication. Be like, I'll take some questions from the audience, and I'll say, well, I have my own personal question for you.
Awesome. So we'll do that. I have no idea. That's a very hard question. So I think after this question, maybe let's transition now to the next the next presentation. Sorry. So you can say goodbye to me and then move on.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much to our panel for their wonderful answers and your beautiful presentations. I think we're going to wrap this up and we're going to move forward. Exactly. So thank you for your participation. Next, we're moving on to our New York presentations. And we're going to be also featuring another panel of our New York mappers, as well as our Nash and Edgecombe, our North Carolina mappers. So I want to introduce a presentation from the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health part of New York. And this first presentation is going to be on health and childcare resources during COVID. And it's going to be by Dana Jackson and Singhi De La Rosa.
Hello, everyone. We are the Jackson Heights Mapping Group. My name is Dana, and my partner name is Saheen. We have two other members named Mia and Amber. We thank them for helping us with the project. Today, we will be discussing about how MapsCourts help community members within Jackson Heights locate useful resources in their neighborhood. We verify information to make sure the people within the community had access to different services. By verifying information, we making sure people had the correct information, such as phone numbers, addresses, websites, and more, in order to contact different businesses. By having the correct information.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. And I feel like we all learned a lot from that, including myself. I don't know a lot about New York, so this was really informative. Next, I want to introduce our second New York presentation, which is going to be on health and childcare resources during COVID. So I want to introduce Keishlyn Diaz and Jessica Rosario.
Okay. Hello, I'm Keishlyn Diaz, and this is Jessica Rosario. We're speaker educators at the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center. We are working with MAPS Corps, and our specific group was the South Bronx. In the MAPS Corps in the South Bronx, over the last few weeks, we have been gathering information about the resources and services that would help the South Bronx, from businesses, shelters, to daycares, to clinics, and many more. Overall, we investigated some businesses in certain community areas on the side, and we try to find/confirm things like the operation hours, how they have been affected by COVID, and such adaptations that they've had to make, either for the or for themselves, so that the community can have better access.
Okay, so the community areas we were looking into are the zip codes listed below. So
Excellent job, Keishlyn, and excellent job, Jessica. You all done a wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm very proud of the work that we're doing for MAPS. MAPS has been doing in New York, and we're doing this work. We've been in New York since 2013. So I remember when we expanded to New York, and it was an incredible time. So thank you so much. I'd like to introduce our next presentations. They're coming from Nash and Edgecombe on educational attainment and transportation by Jasmine Atkins and Angela Garcia.
Hello, welcome to MAPS Corps National Edgecombe Scientific Symposium presentation.
My name is Angel Garcia, and I'm a rising super senior at the NCPS Early College. I've been a mapper for 3 years, and my favorite thing about mapping is probably getting to see how the community has developed over the past few years.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Atkinson. I'm a rising freshman at North Carolina Central University. I have been a mapper for 3 years, and my favorite thing about mapping is getting to know new people.
So in my past years at MAPS Corps, we usually do poster.
Thank you so much for that presentation. I'm blown away, quite frankly, and I'm really excited that MAPS Corps expanded to new communities. So thank you so much for representing your community so well. And I want to thank all the groups for their presentations, and I want to introduce this lovely panel that we're going to have of youth from both New York as well as Nash Edgecombe. So as I said before, so I'd love to introduce Keishlyn and Seeing and Brittany Young. Seeing. Keishlyn, Seeing, Brittany. Keishlyn, Seeing, Brittany. Cool. Welcome to the panel. I'm so excited to see y'all. I'm all the way here in Washington D.C. And I'm sure you're all in New York and North Carolina. So I just want you to take a turn to introduce yourself. Give me your name, your pronouns, what organization you work with, and what is the most interesting or surprising thing you've researched this summer?
Hello, my name is, who am I today? Jessica. Am I Jessica? I am with New York, and the most interesting thing that I researched was the availability of services in our community during COVID, which I found really interesting.
Thank you. So that's a question. So someone asked the question about Nash Edgecombe, but I want to ask a question of you. How have you seen a decrease in active places where you're at, in businesses or in activity?
Hey, question, Cameron. Was that one of the questions? Is that should I see that
yeah,
one?
that's a question in the comments. It's like the very most recent question. It's like it's for Nash Edgecombe, but
yes, that one.
That one.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we were starting with a general one or not.
Oh yeah.
I guess if you have, I mean, maybe go ahead and start with a general one, and then attrition's firing them all in really fast. We said we wanted him to. I don't know that we'll have this many. Great if we do.
That's great. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I have seen a decrease in active places. I think with everything going on with COVID, a lot of places have had to shut down.
Okay. So kind of a general question for me. Just I'm curious. So what has been your biggest challenge, at this summer as you've been trying to do your mapping?
I think my biggest challenge has been trying to figure out how to get this mapping done with the technology instead of actually being out on the street and being able to, go visit the stores and using the technology that we're supposed to be using. And, sometimes technology fails. So there have been some challenges there, and just trying to meet with my group. Sometimes that's been challenging too, because our technology doesn't all work at the same time. I don't know, but maybe there were no challenges.
It does sound to me like, it might have been easier to map in person than this current way of doing things. So I want to take a moment to take a question from the audience. A kind of general question, but I think it's a good question. So how will your research affect your community? So the work we're doing all summer, what impact would you like to see?
Well, I'd like to, we have several recommendations in our presentation, and hopefully people that are in positions to be able to make decisions about services for our community and, that have access to resources will come together and really consider some of our findings and some of our recommendations to be able to provide more services in the future, especially during this pandemic.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that question. I'm gonna take another question from the audience. We got some another follow-up on that. So you just said there are some really lovely recommendations that had there. Can you, which one of your recommendations do you think you can implement today? Are there any ones that you think are right now we can put in place?
Yeah, I think my recommendation, one of them was that the aldermen would meet with some of the community leaders to talk about what they'd like to see in their neighborhoods. And I think, right now there's no reason why they can't convene a meeting and discuss some of these findings and recommendations and start making a plan for the future.
Excellent. Relatedly, I have my own personal question. So, we talking about meeting with the aldermen and how that could really change. It could be one you could put in right now. What role do you see? How is the government or community organizations? How are they reaching out, engaging young people? How have you been, especially in light of COVID? Have you seen a connection being built there, a divide? What about your experience?
Well, we haven't had too much interaction with community-based organizations other than MapsCorps, who we work with, and I know we're working really hard with our leaders. But from what I've seen with some of my friends that are in after-school programs and participate in youth development or programs over the summer, I know that the organizations that they participate in are doing their hardest, and they're trying really hard to make sure that they can still offer some services remotely as much as they can. I know it's been really challenging for them, but they've all been doing a great job. I think the government, I don't know if the government's been involved in helping the organizations provide these services, but I know that the organizations have been doing a really good job and have kept, I know my friends are still really enjoying some of the programs that they're involved in.
Excellent. Thank you. So we have time for one more question. This question, I think, is always one of my favorite questions to ask. And I'm sorry to all the commenters who these questions are not going to be able to get to today. But what's one thing that you can say that adults or older people in your life don't seem to understand about how you experience the world and how you're experiencing the world during COVID?
Is that one of your all questions, Cameron?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. That's a hard question. I'll have to think about it.
No problem. I think it's we have a wonderful platform with hundreds of adults across the country trying to understand your experience. So no worries. But if it comes to you, let us know.
I will.
Thank you so much to our panel. Thank you so much to Brittany, to Jessica, to Sihing, and to Keishlian. I thank you so much for your insights and your poise and willingness to come out during this wild time we're living in. So with our low as we wind down this presentation, I'd like to introduce Dr. Stacy Lindau, the founder and board president of MapScore, a personal mentor of mine, and an all-around really awesome person, to give her closing remarks.
Great. And so then
I would say thank you. And thank you for being it's been a joy, a pleasure, and an honor to be the MC for the first digital MapScore symposium. I hope you all enjoy the words of our illustrious leader, Stacy Lindau.
Great. So then we'll transition over to Stacy's recording, and from there, after her recording is done, I'm just going to go right back to this. Essentially, that's how I'm going to close it out. Or maybe I'll create some sort of slide that says, thank you for tuning in for more information. If I have a minute, I might create something. Otherwise, I think that worked out really well. Attrition, what did you think? Cameron, what did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah, the sound sounds really good on YouTube. I kind of had to mute this for a second to hear it, but it sounds good. Yeah, there's about a 5-second delay, which I don't think is an issue at all. But, yeah,
super.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Cameron, I know, Cameron, you want the phonetics for all the names. Got that.
Yes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pre-write some comment. I'm gonna watch the presentations tomorrow night, or tonight. I'm about to do it tonight, and then make a kind of pre-written out comments about them, and then put those in my script, and live off those. And then I think the only person whose name I don't know how to say, I think it's Aparato. I think it's Clevenique.
Yeah, it's Clevenique. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. But I'm just getting everyone's next, and I want to make sure everyone has their name spoken correctly. But yeah, and I feel like it seems pretty straightforward, pretty easy.
Yeah.
It'll get more smooth the more times I do it. So.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
We good then?
I think.
Yeah. We're ready for tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel pretty solid about it. Oh, one thing I've noticed in this thing is that I can you private chat something to me?
Well, it won't be fully private. It'll be anybody that's also in the StreamYard studio.
Yes. Can you write something in the private chat just so I can see how the notifications come up? Okay. Attrition, can you comment something?
Yeah, one sec.
Oh yeah, I don't know what it looks like on your end because I'm on so I've got little box icons for comments, then all my uploads, and then my comments on my private chat are 2 different icons.
Oh, mine are so ours are I see it as 2 different streams. So it's Tristan, did you comment something?
Yeah, I commented something.
So what happens is the comments come in and there's no notifications for comments, but when private chat comes in, there are notifications for the private chat. So I'm gonna have to. So what I learned is I have to look at the comment section, and if someone private chat something, then I'll switch it over. Because I was looking at private chat, and you were like, "Oh, there are comments coming in," and I was like, "Oh, I don't see any comments until switch."
So
switch boxes.
Is it easier for you if I just pick questions since mine will be up anyway and just kind of put them on screen for you. Like I could just, since you're not getting notifications, like I'll be getting the comments right away and I could just put them on and then you could read it. It's up to you.
I'm thinking like, ideally it would be like if you could drop those in the private chat and then I could just, as I read them off, they would come up in there.
I don't know that I can. Like I can't copy and paste.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. I mean, and I think it's okay. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think the way we're doing it is fine. I just have to make sure I'm looking at the right screen, only because and make sure that I'll be sure to verbally like I'll take some questions from the audience, and then you'll know that I'm talking about something that's showing up in the comment section. It's only because like there's just some questions, some comments are like, for example, I think Official did a great job of doing some comments that are like, I would purposely annoy, like, according to your research, when will this pandemic end? And I'm like, nope, like, skip it. Yeah, I think as I try to weave some of the questions in and naturally probe the young people on questions, it will be private. Like, I won't be on the private chat. Like, I don't know what we would use in the private chat for, so I'll still see the comments. I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, I think if for whatever reason you're having any issues or like you need to private chat any of us, then I'll just then you always have the backup questions that attrition sent. So like if you need to just work off of those for a minute because you're private chatting, that's fine too.
Yeah, no, okay, that sounds good to me. I feel really good about that. I think I figured out how to have the right things up at the same time. So I'll have the practice questions up, like the general questions up. I'll have the script on one side of the screen and the visual on the other. And once I get the flow of it, I'll just like be able to give the script into the camera without.
Hey, Cameryn, are you a regular YouTube user? If I'm asking because I'm not, and I have a couple questions for you.
I use YouTube pretty regularly, yes.
Okay, so like live streaming?
No, not for live streaming.
Okay.
I watch live streams, but I don't live stream on the grid.
Well, I guess my question was going to be like, if let's say something happened with the stream itself, like I lost Wi-Fi, because at this point, the only Wi-Fi that matters is my Wi-Fi. My internet connection is the only one that's going to, well, yours will matter and the panelists will matter as far as coming into StreamYard, right? Mm-hmm. But then the stream itself, what's broadcasting live, it's my internet that's broadcasting live to YouTube. So if for whatever reason my internet is disrupted and then it picks up again, do you know if the stream on YouTube like would end and then start again as soon as I got reconnected, or does it just end permanently?
I think it's a
great question.
We could test it out. Do you want to just turn off your Wi-Fi and we could tell you what happens?
Yeah, that's a good way to.
Well, that I'm also going to lose you on StreamYard if I turn off my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's yeah, we can come back into this, right? Once you're.
It might just I'm gonna disconnect us right now.
Okay.
Wait, Patricia, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh.
Well, I just reconnected us now.
Oh, well, we were still here.
Yeah.
Oh, you were? Because I saw all of you guys leave on my screen.
Oh, no.
We haven't gone anywhere.
Okay. All right, I'll disconnect you guys again.
Okay.
I'll disconnect you for a little bit longer then.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it just freezes. I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like they might, StreamYard might use a mixture of connections to make this work.
Sure, yeah.
Because I mean, it seems like a bad design to be like, it's just on the host's connection, and so if everyone fails out, then it just doesn't work.
Yeah. So right now it just looks like she's frozen on the YouTube link. similar to just how it looks on ours. So.
Okay, but can you see us on the YouTube?
Yeah, I can see us. We're still here conversing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
How was that? Did you guys leave the stream? Did you see yourselves get disconnected?
No. So the YouTube. Oh, my bad. Go for it, Cameron.
Oh yeah, so we're still here on both this account and also apparently on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So you just disappeared. So you just froze out.
Yeah.
I froze.
And
oh, well, that's weird because I also got a signal from StreamYard saying you've got an unstable connection, and I actually disconnected me.
Yeah. So it makes so that I think the way it works is you just fall out, even if you're the host. Like you still fall out, but if you're streaming us, we're still on it. We're still being streamed to YouTube.
Interesting.
So it's like multiple connections.
But I wonder then if the video, like if it happens during a video, which is actually on my StreamYard.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, let's.
All right, let's try it. All right, I'm gonna try it. Hold on, let me find a video.
Okay. Hello, I'm Keishlian Diaz, and this is Jessica Rosario. We're speaker educators at the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center. We are working with MAPS Corps, and our specific group was the South Bronx. In the MAPS Corps in the South Bronx, over the last few weeks, we have been gathering information about the resources and services that would help the South Bronx, from businesses, shelters, to daycares, to clinics, and many more. Overall, we investigated some businesses in certain community areas on the side, and we try to find/confirm things like the operation hours, how they have been affected by COVID, and such adaptations that they've had to make, either for the or for themselves, so that the community can have better access.
Okay, so the community areas we were looking into are the zip codes listed below, so 10451, 10453, 10456, and 10457. And some of the common struggles within these communities usually have to do with finance, child education, and housing.
The research question. Our biggest question was, what impact has COVID-19 had on the available resources in the communities of the South?
Oh.
Yeah, it was going for me too.
The whole time it was going for you guys?
Yeah.
That's really interesting because at this point, I let it get so bad on my end that the last test we did, I just got it, I disconnected, and then StreamYard said you have an unstable connection and you guys disappeared from my screen. This last time it told me that you guys disappeared from my screen, and then StreamYard actually kicked me out. Like it said, StreamYard is disconnected or something.
Oh, okay.
And I had to re-enter the broadcast studio.
Okay. Yeah, I think they probably designed it so that it just because you have to upload the videos into StreamYard, so it'll live like on the StreamYard server.
Yeah.
So it's probably just playing from that, so it doesn't even matter if you're connected or not. It's just gonna keep playing.
Yeah, seems like it's built in a lot of redundancies.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, then I think we are all set. I'm going to end the broadcast here. Actually, not yet because it'll kick you guys up. Are we good then for today? We're all set for tomorrow?
I think so.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So I think for tomorrow for the dress rehearsal, we'll, the panelists, I don't think we have all the panelists logging on at the same time. We will the day of the show, but I think for tomorrow we've got the Chicago group logging on at a certain time, and then I think New York and North Carolina are going to log on a little bit later, so I'll be keeping an eye on them just to let them into the stream. And I know that we're scheduled from 10 to 12, I think.
10 to 12, yeah.
Yeah, I built in extra time. We'll get started as soon as we're ready to get started, and we'll end it from there. I'm hoping that we'll have Stacy and Andres's videos done and compressed if necessary, or even edited if necessary. I've got someone kind of waiting to do that. If not, I'll have to work around that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye, y'all.